Hello, everyone. Welcome to Training with Raza Aziz. So, as we were talking about, um, how do people go towards their passions? How do you identify those strengths, and how do you put those in action and line up everything that you are doing with that? Because once you're working with your strengths, you're really it doesn't tire you out. Ask Kenneth and Lisa. Ask all those people inside of this team who are driven by their strengths. They don't get tired. It seems like they're working 24 hours a day with 2 hours of sleep, and boom, they're back up and running, right? So how do you get to your strengths, right? That's the book. And again, some of the quotes that I came across, I wrote them over here. I was talking about John Maxwell. So John Maxwell says that successful people know their purpose. If you want to know what your purpose is or how to get to your purpose, identify your strengths, right? Because those are your God-given gifts to you so that you can fulfill on the things that you are really out here to fulfill, right? So many times my belief is that many times when our lives are not working, or something is not working, and we're getting frustrated, is because we're not working with our strengths. So so that's, many quotes over here. This one was an author, some philosopher mentioned by T. Harv Eker. The things you are passionate about are not random. So things that actually drive you, they're not random. They are your calling. So imagine like things that actually pull you, right? You have some desires, some things that come inside of you that rise in, that kind of fire you up. Many a times we suppress them. Why? Is because, well, maybe it doesn't let us make money, or something like that. Some story that we're telling ourselves, right? So these are these are the things that we want to identify. Let me just rhyme off with something else. Oh my God, this is so awesome. I mean, this one is I'm like, I have it in my binder. I have it everywhere. Now, this one says that when I'm clear about what I want, when I'm clear what I want, when I'm clear, what I want will show up in my life, and only to the extent that I am clear. How many times you guys have wondered, why is it that I don't have what I want, right? There's so many things I want. And forget about it, want, and like, it could be money, it could be material things, could be spiritual gifts, could be some connection, could be some mindset, right? I don't have it. I can't get it. Everything that you have in your life, the business results, the personal results, the spiritual results, everything that you and I have in our life is a reflection of how clear we are in our pursuit of those things. And when I look at all these things, I notice a theme starting to emerge out of these. I notice that a lot of things are tying up together. Building a business, taking actions, and doing everything as a repetitive, making it habit, and all that stuff is great, but it's all starting somewhere else. And many of us, like you and I, we either do not have the opportunity to do it, or we don't feel like we need to pay attention to it, right? We don't need to pay attention to it. It's not a, I'll get to it. Some I attended a workshop recently, and it was called building your vision or something like that. Now, I've heard of it. You've heard of it. Many times we've all heard of it, that, we need to build our vision and stuff like that. But how many of us have really taken the time to do it? Kenneth was surprised that I hadn't done it yet, right? And that was actually surprising to me too. I'm like, I really haven't done it, right? When I told Kenneth this, Kenneth's like, you don't have a vision? I'm like, I haven't written it down. He's like, dude, that's what it was. It's like, but some of the things, like, we know of it, and that's one of the things that becoming more and more prevalent. Knowing is not enough. Collectively, between all of us over here, internationally, we know a lot of things. Believe me, we know a lot of things. I can put up a problem right now and everyone will come up with a solution for it. Then why is it that we haven't implemented those things? Food for thought. right? So why don't you guys share in the chat box whether you agree with the statement, knowing is not enough. Do you agree with it, right? Or you disagree with it? And why do you think we haven't implemented the things that we know? Okay, so two questions. One, do you agree with the statement, knowing is not enough? Let's talk about that first. All right, right? We know so many things, guys. See, here's the thing. Okay, so most of us agree. So now we know a lot of things. Why do you think we don't implement those things that we know? Why is that? Have not implemented because of personal barriers, mental barriers, absolutely. Limiting mentality, yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Right? Why are we? Because of fear, absolutely. So we've got all these things, mental barriers are there. There are fears there. What else is that there? Mental barriers, limiting mentality, limiting beliefs. Okay. Now this next question is um, is for everybody else, but not Kenneth. So Kenneth, do not respond to that. Lazy or lack of discipline. I like that one. Discipline. The question is, for those of you who have attended Kenneth's training on the personal success wheel, what is the first element where everything begins? Okay? For those of you who have attended Kenneth's training on the success wheel, personal success wheel, I think that's what it's called, Kenneth, right? That's what you call the training? Personal success wheel, where does everything begin from? What is the first part of that wheel? Dum 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 dum. Just a nobody. Okay. Okay, not intended. Oh boy, Kenneth, it looks like we have to do that training again. Oh, melancholy stuff. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. The word forgot. You. No. Magda, it's not you. Let me give you a clue. It's actually, the word is actually on the board. No kidding. No kidding. Anybody want to pick a word from from the board? It's actually on here. Come on, somebody. Let's go. Come on, there's only the one, two, three, four, five, six words. Pick one. Ah, class picks beliefs. Oh, Kenneth is not going to be happy here. All right. All right. Good job, class. Thank you. Guys, here's the thing. We can do whatever it is that we want to do. We can pick whatever profession we want to pick. We can go to the Himalayas and go meditate and all that stuff. Unless we really get to first of all know our current beliefs and then change our beliefs, nothing is going to matter. It doesn't matter what opportunity we go to. Have you noticed that people produce the same results in all opportunities, pretty much, right? They come and stick 3 4 months over here, and then they go 3 4 months in the next opportunity, hop 3 4 months in the next opportunity, yet they produce the same results. If they refer to 5 or 6 people in this one, maybe they'll refer 6 7 people in the other one, and maybe 8 9 in the other one, or maybe two in the other one, right? It's pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter what the product or the business opportunity is. Have you noticed that those very people, if they choose a profession, let's say they decide to be entrepreneurs still, but they decide to become mortgage brokers, they pretty much produce the same kind of results, is because everything is driven by beliefs. Everything. Finding out and getting to know your beliefs is where this whole thing lies. Because if you can, there's a gentleman by the name of Bob Proctor. He uses the term paradigm. Unless you learn to shift your paradigms and alter your paradigms, nothing really matters. You can have a great training session. Guess what? It was very inspiring. It was great. But then a month or two down the road, you ask somebody about the training, they've forgotten about it, right? So if you really get to where I'm going with this here, right? That it's not necessarily if you if you're not really focusing and expanding and really focusing on the things that actually matter in helping you build a business, in helping you become more than who you are today, to do more than you are doing today, and to ultimately produce results in a more expanded way than you are doing today, then ultimately it has to start somewhere. And that part is beliefs. Okay? Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to focus today's training on just a small aspect of thing. I wanted to, this session is more about awareness, okay? And in sequential sessions, I'll cover some elements of these on how you can work through these elements so that you can get to those beliefs, get to those limiting mental barriers and fears and limiting beliefs and disciplines and all that stuff. Let me share a story with you guys. I always say this to everybody, and I thank all of you for really giving me the respect and the status, and your listening and referring to me as a team leader and all of that stuff. I was just here a little bit before you guys, right? And I worked with some great people, right? I've been taught all these same things that you are being taught right now through Kenneth's trainings. I've had the opportunity to, every 3-4 months, fly down to see Kenneth and Lisa and learn from them, and then just put them into application, right? The results that I have are only to the extent that I'm clear. If there are more expanded results that I need to get more cleared about what I want in order to get those results. And I'm just like you. The only difference is that I'm continuously developing myself. I work harder on myself than I do in my business. That has been the case since 2012 when I joined the team. Everything. Like nowadays, I don't even go to sleep like, just like I said, guess what? I've got things in my ears over the past week, 2 weeks. I've got things in my ears. Like I'm constantly, because I know I need to shift my paradigms. There are things that are limiting me, so I'm no different than you guys. So don't think that I've got everything figured out. I'm just a little bit ahead of you guys because I've just taken on a few things that you may not have been aware of or you may not have taken on. Okay, so what are some of the things that there? Let me tell you. Let me relate to you a challenge that I'm having these days. Okay, so here's a team leader sharing the challenges. Okay, this particular year, January 2012, January 2014, this month, one of the things that I've taken on is habits, because I've studied over time, and successful people are product of their habits. Okay, so I said, okay, so how do I institute habits, and what kind of habits do I need to institute in my life, not just to make me a great network marketer, but to make me a bigger and better person, so that I can take on the challenges, anything that I want to take on. I say what I want to take on, and I take it on, right? How do I become that powerful person who just says something and creates it into reality, right? Because everything that I've created so far in my reality, you guys, me, my house, my friends, my family, everything has been is a reflection of my thoughts, right? So everything I've thought about and the way I've thought about it and attached emotion and feelings to it, and it has been my reality. So I'm absolutely thankful for that. That's the thing. I'm absolutely, because I know everything that I've created, every circumstance, every issue, concern, challenge, success, failure, everything is mine because it's I who created it. Okay? So I said, so how do I go about creating habits? So there, let me share with you what habits I'm trying to create. I'm attempting to, right? So I wanted to wake up, and I shared this with Kenneth. He's like, good luck to you. I said, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, because there's a gentleman by the name of Robin Sharma. His video is right on our TUImembersonly.com website, right at the front. So I started listening and reading some of his material, and one of the things he said is that successful people have this hour or a couple hours that they devote towards themselves. It's away from distraction. It's the power hour. It's the holy hour, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and they chop it up into pieces. You know, it could be 20 minutes of workout or exercise, 20 minutes of learning, 20 minutes of planning, or something like that. So I said, okay, I want to do that. You know, I want to be successful and everything like that. So I said, all right, January 15, 2014, Raza makes a commitment. I will wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. First day, woke up at 7 a.m. Okay. Woke up at 7 a.m., right? And the second day I woke up at 6:30. Ooh, okay, we're moving. We're moving forward, right? The third day I woke up at 10 a.m. Okay. So watch what's going on, and I want to take you, to through my mindset and through what's really going on, okay, here. Because as much as my conscious mind is saying that I want to do this, okay, I want to do this, I see the benefits of it, yet it's not happening, right? It's not happening. So I said, okay, so fourth day or fifth day, it's not a habit yet, right? Fourth day or fifth day, I said, okay, so what structures do I need to put in place? So what I did is on a Facebook, if you look at my Facebook post during that time, I kind of asked my community out there. I said, hey, what have you guys done to institute habits, right, in yourself? And I've got some feedback and everything and accountability and this and that. So, okay, let me take some pieces of it. And I started alarm clocks. Yeah, 4 alarms. 4 alarms, dude. Right? But I want to give you an insight to how much sometimes it takes work, right? But how much sometimes you need to work on your subconscious to actually get you to where you want to be. And how do you make a shift? Well, I said, okay, so let me ask my dear wife, like, sweetheart, can you wake up at 5 o'clock and please make sure that I'm awake? Well, and well, Tazzy says, she's like, well, you know what? I like you and all, but you know what? No. No. So I said, all right, so that part is out. So what do I do now, right? So then I'm like, okay, so I started looking I said, what do I need to do? So now I noticed that I'm sleeping late. I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch my clock a little bit early. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up and all of that stuff. And slowly what's happening is I started getting up for 2 or 3 consistent days at 5:05, 5:10. Okay. So 5:05 and 5:10, like I've started getting up. I got up. There was one day I actually got up. I did my thing. I went back to bed. Right? I said, okay, success. Right? But that's not what like. I want to continue to grow that, and it's continuous work. And today is like the 21st. I actually didn't wake up till 8 today. Again, back to challenges again. So now, what I really want to uncover over here is what is it that's driving? Consciously, I know the benefits of it. You all know the benefits of building your business, right? We all know that. We all know that if we don't build our business, what are our other options? Or if you haven't written those options down, you might want to write it down, right? If you don't build your business, what is the outcome? What are some of the pains attached to it? Maybe there are pleasures attached to it too, right? So mediocrity, absolutely. There's some of the things. Well, why don't you guys, for yourselves, right? Don't have other people dictate your perception. If you don't build your business, what is an alternative for you, right? So Kenneth says mediocrity. Okay, what about you guys? Share while I come over here. Okay. Suicide. All right. Painting with Peter. I don't know. Is that painful, class? I hope he's not negotiating any contracts. Okay. Let's see. Long hours commuting to a job. Absolutely. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong. Here's the thing. I want you to get something. You don't have to hate your job to build a business. And many times I've heard the statement too, for those who don't have a job, they're working their TUI business and they say, oh, like, oh, you know what? I don't think I can do this TUI business thing. I'm going to go look for a job. I said, you're saying as if like you're working your business full time, like 9, 10 hours a day, that I need to devote 9, 10 hours to looking for a job. No, look for a job. That's fine. Nothing wrong with the job. If the work that you're doing is serving others, that's fine. But if you're looking to make it your life's purpose, a job, to work for somebody else, that's fine too. But just know that it's lining up with whatever it is that you believe. Okay? Depending on others financially. Yeah, possible. So let me just highlight a few points over here, and I want you to see where you guys are at. This is where we come to focus. Okay? These areas. What do I need to do? Kenneth, tell me, what do I need to do? Right? What do I need to say when I'm handing out a flyer? Right? Right? Well, what do I say on the flyer? I'm writing a Facebook post. What should I say? Right? I'm writing a Twitter feed. Right? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? That's all we're wanting to know. I've related this many different times that Kenneth could tell you exactly what he says, and you could take that and exactly say it to the same prospect, and it's not going to make a difference. Because what's important is who is taking that action, who is attending this training, who is waking up in the morning, who is participating inside of Team United. It's who is making that happen. That's the difference maker. So why is it that we keep asking this question? Why don't you find out what is Kenneth's vision? Why does he do what he does? Get to that. Find your purpose. We always have like small mini purposes, behind on what we're doing, right? That article in the Coach's Corner, that's who Kenneth is. That's where you find Kenneth. That's when you get to that, then whatever comes out of your mouth is going to have the same impact that Kenneth has, right? I'm not saying you stop taking the actions. No. It's taking these actions that ultimately build you up and really get you connected to where you are. This training is not a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence. It's exactly what you may need right now where you're at, right? Some people might be here. Some people might be here. Some people might be here. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. But what you want to know is identify where you're at and then seek out the help that you need in each area. Seek out the answers. Ask the right questions, you get the right answer, right? So when you guys come to coaching, bring questions. Don't come to coaching with like, okay, I'm here, now what? No. You know what that tells the team leader? That tells the team leader that you're not in action, right? If you don't come with an agenda to a coaching session, it's not an orientation session, remember, okay? With the coaching session, we want to help you where you are stuck. So give us where you're stuck and we can, help you. See, we could think up of things as like, okay, so, Magda is attending the session or you know, Mel or Glennie or Kenneth, Lisa is attending the session, whatever. But coaching sessions are designed to help you get unstuck, right? That's what a coach's job is, right? To help you get unstuck. But when you don't come with an agenda, then we come up with an agenda and we could pick a random training and start delivering it to you. Start taking the actions necessary that we feel that you should take. And we continuously do that for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and fifth month, you're asking the same questions that you were asking at this time. Well, take the actions so that you know what areas you need to work on, right? When you come to the training, take away something. Take away. Don't tell Kenneth and don't tell me, don't tell Lisa or whoever's doing the training that it was a great training, you know, good job. No, 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 no. That's not what they're looking for. Mention 1 or 2 points that you're going to take away and go apply. It's like, you know what? I'm going to take that and I'm going to go apply. I'm going to schedule a coaching session with you and we'll talk about it. That's what it is for, right? That's what it's for. We're not looking for self-praise in this one. We want to make sure that you guys get to fulfill on your goals. That's what drives us. That's what gets Kenneth out of bed. That's what has me spend time away from family and Eliza and Taz and everything and read this book so that I can help you guys, help me, help you guys get to wherever it is that you want to get to. So these are not just training sessions designed because we just like to be in front of cameras and like to make PowerPoints and, you know, that kind of stuff. We want to drive you towards your goals. Sorry, I was going to swear. That's what Team United is about, right? That's what Team United is all about. That's why we're different. That's why we have a commitment towards you, right? So let's make this happen. So what is it that I want to highlight here? I want you to write these down, okay? I want you to write these down and see where you're at, okay? And pass those statements by each other, okay? Connect with me, tell me about it's like, hey, Raza, this is what I think my purpose is. And I'm going to start with, because I'm telling you guys, I'm in the midst of drafting this right now, right? And as this gets developed, as this gets cleared, I know this is my next growth phase. Because I'm continuously growing too. I was telling this to Kenneth, I think Kenneth, it was a couple of weeks ago, that I'm not the same person as I was who joined Team United in 2012. I'm not. My conversation is different. My thinking is different. I, I've I've grown tremendously. Now, does that mean that it stops now? No, it doesn't stop. It's continuing, right? I'm going to learn something. I'm going to say something very controversial. Some people are going to be like, whoa. I am not going to be satisfied, right? I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm going to be grateful, but I'm not going to be satisfied. Does that make sense? Anybody? Does anybody not like it? Right? And you may not understand. It's okay because I've said it very carefully, right? Right? Because guess what? Many people think that we need to be satisfied with the things that we have. There's a big difference between being satisfied and between being driven to ultimately grow, have more. All this abundance that we have around us, everything that we have around, the money that's around us, the technology that's around us, the growth that we have potential for, the internet medium that we have, everything is designed so that you can be satisfied with what you have. You need to be grateful for what you have because that's what you've attracted. That's what the universe, God, or everything that you believe in has given it to you. You need to be grateful for that and continuously grow because we, as living beings, need to grow. Take anything, a tree. If it's not growing, it's dying. If you are not growing, you are dying. End of deal. That's where That's where growth lies, guys. And it's only in us growing that we create our realities. So, couple of lessons that I want to get. First of all, know where you are. Start learning. Connect with me. Connect with Kenneth. We can help you in different areas in getting you, helping you move forward, and and really don't do this business. Don't be in Team United because somebody said that you should be. Line it up with who you are. Line it up with who you are because you'll be able to serve more people inside of this team, right? You'll be able to serve a lot more people with your vision, with your purpose. If you don't know this, you are depriving your teammates of this because there's a unique value that you have to bring to the table. And if you're not doing that, you're just being freaking selfish. We don't want that, right? Okay? So, these points, and then one more thing I want to add here is one of the things that we want to start tuning our brains to is finding things to absolutely be thankful for. Okay? Because if we believe that everything that has been created, whether we like it or not, everything that has been created is really a reflection of our own thoughts, if our own asking of God and of universe and of all these things, then let's find things that we can be thankful for. And my session is about to end. Okay? Request time. So let's find things to be thankful for. Let's make it a habit to write down at least one or two things every single day, at the morning, at the end of the day, to be thankful for the things that we actually have in our lives. And the things that you actually want, know. Once you get your belief to that level, know that it's coming. Because you have always gotten what you had asked for. You have always gotten what you have asked for. If you can believe that statement, then you are on the path of riches, whatever that may be, right? That may be monetary, spiritual, personal, relationships, whatever. It's on its way. Thank you guys for attending the session. I hope you gain value from here, and let's make it a powerful week. Let's make it a powerful day, and actually be a person of value to others, to your teammates, to your families, to your enemies, whoever, right? And just go out and make it happen because we are all an expression of God. Thank you. Have a good one.